Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another edition of Love and Action Daily Boost Program. I'm Dr. Flo, not telling you what I heard, but what I know. What I know is that you're loved and lovable. You've always been loved and lovable, and you're going to be loved and lovable for the rest of your days. This is the only thing that stands between Muppets Christmas Carol and an afternoon of Roblox for me. And Tara, what did you say that you were going to be doing today
For
after
sure
Daily
gonna turn
Boost?
on I'm gonna turn on some Hallmark. I might like, I was telling Flo this morning, as he was watching the beginnings of The Muppets Christmas Carol, which is the best Christmas Carol apart from the Patrick Stewart TNT Christmas Carol. But I have not watched any of my regular Christmas movies, y'all. Like, I have not seen The Grinch this year. I have not seen Elf. I haven't seen Home Alone. I haven't seen The Muppets Christmas Carol. I haven't seen the TNT Christmas Carol. I haven't seen the one on FX, which is creepy, but it's good. Um, I haven't seen any of it. I haven't seen The Four Christmases. I haven't seen Christmas with the Cranks, which makes me laugh just out loud. That movie is so funny to me. So I'm going to be working on that this afternoon as I work on some admin tasks. So I am excited to have some solitude with myself. We were going to go see Santa today with Piper, but mommy is lazy today. And then, of course, the Vikings play the Cowboys this afternoon. So, I mean, not this afternoon, tonight.
Oh,
Sunday night football, baby. So I have lots of TV watching to do today. I'm Tara Priolo. I'm your resident Black biracial multi-passionate musician. I talk about the ish that nobody wants to talk about and push you to do the same. I almost didn't ever introduce myself. And I'm happy to be here. Yeah, let's do it. We're in y'all, we're in week 51.
which is
We're in
wild when you think about the fact that
51.
we took over our own devotional cycle from Melody Beattie January 1 of this year and decided to do it our way. Instead of having all of the answers, we would ask questions of the community through our Substack. And we've been going 2 years strong. And this is week 51 of a 52-week cycle because we're about to say Happy New Year
Happy New Year
in less than
to
2 weeks. Can you believe it?
It's wild. It's really wild. Y'all, just for your information, it is 11 days until Christmas. In case you were all wondering. Also, happy Hanukkah to those of you who celebrate. Tonight is the first night of Hanukkah. And yeah, we'll be. I mean, I think there'll be probably be a couple days where we're taking off because of the way the 52-week cycle works. Because next week is the last week, right? And then we would take some time off because that's Christmas week, the following week, which would be week 53 or week 1 or something like that. Something like that, because we're 2 weeks from the end of the year, I think. Is that accurate? Am I wrong?
Everything's a meeting, everybody. So thanks for attending our operations meeting on the podcast. So the
51.
way it goes, this is week 51. And then the 21st of December through the 27th is week
Okay,
52. And then Sunday, the 28th, starts week 1 of 2026.
I see, even though it's still 2025. Okay, got it. I see, y'all, my brain, though, does not restart until January uno, but that doesn't.
Thursday will be January 1st, which will still be the first week of the year.
Okay, okay,
Yeah,
okay.
so you can call it week 52 plus. You can call it extra days, but
Right,
we'll start week one's uh,
on December the 28th.
on December the 28th, and then we'll end on December the 3rd. Also
Got it.
known as Tara's personal week one start.
Right. Quite right. Quite right. But we'll be in week 2 by the time I'm in week 1. So whatever. It's fine. Don't
Yes,
worry about it, y'all.
because our calendar doesn't have 4 weeks cycles. We work on a 4 week cycle here in the
Right.
network, but there's all of these extra days in every month. I don't know how we got the calendar we got. It makes no sense, but here we are all of these
The
years
Julian
later.
calendar is because of Julius Caesar, in that time. It's an empire thing. It's a whole
But
empire
what
thing.
was the rationale behind it? Like, should
That I
we?
don't know, but fascinating. Flo's gonna look that up while I tell you what the theme of week 51 is, which is love as a gift. As you know, we haven't been here together for a couple weeks, but we're in root chakra. Okay, the mantra from the 7-Day Pillar Challenge by Papi Wada is I am. If you are listening now on a platform that allows you to comment, feel free to put your I am statements. We talked about that in the room this morning, in the clubhouse room this morning. You can fill up the comments with I am. And also, if you are interested in coming into the clubhouse rooms, we do have an RSVP system, so you're going to need to follow that. And we may have rooms that nobody RSVPs to if we need them, but we're going to run on an RSVP system for the most part, so as to keep the ship moving smoothly. Did you find out about the Julian calendar?
I did. So the purpose of the Julian calendar, introduced by Julius Caesar in 46 BCE, was to replace the chaotic Roman calendar with a simple solar-based system that accurately tracked seasons of agriculture, civil life, and religious festivals, establishing a consistent 365-day year with a leap day every 4 years to keep it aligned with the sun. Its goals were to provide standardization, to unify the disorganized Roman calendar, which often had months added or removed by politicians, leading to widespread confusion. So could you imagine if Marjorie Taylor Greene or Trump could just remove the
Or
month
Biden?
of February,
Right.
right?
Skip over
Also,
it.
solar alignment to keep the calendar aligned with the seasons, the tropical year for reliable planting and harvesting, something the older lunar calendar failed at. Simplicity to create a straightforward system of 12 months with a predictable leap year every 4 years, adding a day to February. And civil and religious order to provide a consistent framework for managing governance, agricultural cycles, and religious observances across the Roman world.
Interesting.
And yeah, it served as a dominant calendar in the Western world for over 1,500 years, forming the basis for our modern Gregorian calendar.
Oh,
So I guess we have a Gregorian calendar now. Hold on. We're
what's
in
the
the
difference
rabbit.
between a Gregorian calendar and a Julian calendar? And why was
So the
February
purpose of the
shorter? Go ahead.
Okay, so the purpose of the Gregorian calendar is to provide a highly accurate, internationally standardized civil system for tracking time by keeping our calendar dates aligned with the Earth's seasons, fixing the inaccuracies in the older Julian calendar that caused holidays like Easter to drift primarily through a refined leap year rule that skips leap years in most centuries. It serves as the global standard for commerce, science, and daily life by synchronizing with the tropical year, which is Earth's orbit around the sun for millennial. And so the Gregorian calendar was brought into being for seasonal accuracy, fixing the Julian calendar, which was slightly too long and had drifted about 10 days over centuries.
Wow.
Easter alignment, the primary religious motivation was to reset the time of Easter to align with spring equinox. So that's why the Gregorian calendar exists, to put
When did
Easter
we
in alignment.
implement the Gregorian calendar? When did that happen?
So it
This
went
is
into effect
a rabbit hole we didn't expect to go on, y'all.
at all. It went into effect October 1582.
Wow.
And it was made possible or implemented by Pope Gregory the Eighth.
Okay, thus Gregorian.
Yes, it's a Catholic confection.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, I thought we were still under the Julian calendar, but we're not. We're actually
Me too.
under the Gregorian calendar. And now I want to ask, why is February the shortest month?
Right. I'm like,
Okay, so the February is the shortest month due to ancient Roman calendar adjustments where King Numa Pompilius added January and February to the original 10th month system, making
oh,
February the unlucky shortest month, 28 days, to keep the total year days odd, which was a practice solidified by Julius Caesar and later Pope Gregory VIII. Roman superstition viewed even numbers as unlucky, so they created odd number months, with February associated with purification rituals taking the leftover days.
Interesting.
So February was the last month to be added to a 12-month calendar. Therefore, it just got the short end of the stick, not because of any of these reasons that people assign black at birth, say, oh, they gave us the shortest month because we didn't like it.
Right.
It was the extra month back in ancient Rome, and all we had was 28 days left, and so that's the month that got it.
Fascinating. I really thought we were under the Julian calendar.
Well,
but
we learn new things together here. And what I love about us is that we're not afraid to go and do research in the middle of a podcast.
In the whole middle of the podcast, because you know what? I don't like. I saw this reel this morning that was like, this girl was like, tell me if the education system failed me or if I'm just dumb. And she was like, since when is Egypt a part of Africa? Because they really don't teach us that Egypt is a part of Africa. They like teach you more that Egypt is a part of the Middle East, and they don't really tell you that it's on the continent of Africa, right? But anyway, this is like that. Like, I really thought that we were in the Julian calendar, and we have been apparently in the Gregorian calendar for 500 years. So
not apparently, we definitely have.
like, but I also, okay, this is another thing that I'm fascinated about the calendar. Okay, this is just an aside, y'all. We will get to the questions, I promise. But one of the things that I find fascinating about the Gregorian calendar, apparently, that I thought was the Julian calendar. So my mother, her birthday is March 31st. Okay, and Easter, we were just talking about Easter because now they're talking about aligning the Easter, right? Every 11 years, Easter was on her birthday for her entire life. Whenever the last time Easter was on March 31st is the last time it will be on her birthday in her lifetime. Because like some kind of math. But also, don't y'all remember, y'all tell me in the comments. Okay, all of my life, the equinoxes have always been on the 21st of the month. Like, it has always been March 21st, June 21st, September 21st, and December 21st. Always. Now, all of a sudden, these last 3 years, they've been on different, like 21st, 23rd, 22nd, 20th. They've been moving around. So I don't know what that is or who did the math a long time ago to make that happen. But like, these are things.
The internet has an answer for that too. Equinoxes change dates yearly due to Earth's slightly uneven orbit.
Okay, then why were they on of the Earth for 33 years? And then all of a sudden they were like, because I done wish somebody a happy spring equinox one time, and they were like, Miss Tara, the spring equinox isn't for 2 days. And I was like, what?
So the reason why, and this is according to the research, folks, I'm not an astronomer at all. I may play one in the forthcoming Love Revival tour with Dr. Flo, the Love Experience. I may be a mad scientist for a couple scenes with the puppets and the kids and the adults. But the orbital shift that's happening and the drift that's happening happens to the tune of 6 hours each year. And because there's 24 hours in a day, it's not shifting by a day each time. And also they've been course correcting by using the leap years.
Wow.
So the leap year offset plus the orbital shift only being slight, meaning 6 hours later each year, that's the reason why it stayed pretty consistent until recently.
Fascinating. Okay, y'all, you can let us know in the comment section. I see this on YouTube videos sometimes. Somebody put in the comment section the timestamp. It's 14:47, okay, of when we're starting the questions so that people can just skip ahead to to the questions if that is your heart's desire. I had to turn because my child is getting up and I didn't want you all to see the child's face. Okay, so I already told you it's Love is a Gift week. I'm going to read the first 5. Dr. Flo might answer one of them. I might answer one of them. We'll see where we go. And then we'll move on. I see that our robots decided that we get questions this week instead of statements. How nice. All right. So root chakra, love as safety, stability, and belonging. Where in my life do I currently feel hang on. Where in my life do I currently feel supported, held, or anchored? Where in my life do I currently feel supported, held, or anchored? In what ways has love shown up as protection or provision this year? In what ways has love shown up as protection or provision this year? What does feeling safe in love mean to me at this stage of my life? What does feeling safe in love mean to me at this stage of my life? How do my daily routines reflect care for my basic needs? How do my daily routines reflect care for my basic needs? Where have I learned to trust love as something reliable rather than fleeting? Where have I learned to trust love as something reliable rather than fleeting? Did any of those trip your trigger, Dr. Flo?
We were talking about this morning over in the Clubhouse spaces. You all are welcome, as Tara said earlier, to RSVP to any of our peer support programs. We've got them in multiple disciplines, and we've got a general one that happens twice a day, as folks would like to have it, around just understanding your roses, thorns, needs, and seeds. And it's part of our daily routines and rituals process here in the network. What I learned this year that I need daily in my diet is protein. How do my daily routines reflect care for my basic needs? I've had to learn to have a protein shake. I've had to learn to hydrate myself even when I feel like I'm okay. I've had to learn to have coffee earlier in the day as a routine. That's a basic need for energy. I have had to learn, and I'm still learning actively because I'm still a work in progress, just like all of us, blessed in my imperfection, to take a multivitamin every day because the food is shit. The food does not have the nutrients and the minerals that we need to fully function as a human. Certainly doesn't have all the B vitamins that we need to be okay and to have the energy and the metabolic boost that we need. And so the routines that I'm doing that reflect my basic needs, once again, hydration, calming minerals, calming tinctures like lemon balm, protein and protein shakes, vegetables, canned or frozen or fresh in my diet. These are the things, especially as I begin to cross into the 40s. Tara's not quite there yet. Poppy's still in his 20s, loved and lovable. Poppy Water the other night had me stop him by the dollar store, and he was able to have hot fries, it's like a hot Cheeto hot fry kind of hot sticks. Are you into that? And I wanted to, first of all, I was envious that he was able to have the hot Cheetos, hot sticks, hot corn snack products
Like
that late.
Takis?
They're
Like
like
Takis?
Takis, but
Okay.
they're like knockoff Takis. Yeah. And he's able to have them at 9 or 10 o'clock at night. We also passed the Taco Bell. I really wanted to eat Taco Bell 9:30.
Not in
These
your old age.
these routines that I had for many years no longer reflect care of my basic needs. Um, Also, what does feeling safe in love mean to me at this stage of my life? Peace. The person who protects my peace gets the gold ticket. The people in my life who protect my peace and honor my peace and want to get me towards being peaceful in my finances, in the protection of my physical temple, honoring my need to be grounded in my spirit. Those are the people that I feel the most safe with. And a lot of them are members of Love in Action Network. We do a lot of work to maintain peace in chaotic conditions and circumstances.
Agreed.
And that's what feeling safe is like for me, because we recognize that safety is something that we have to give ourselves. So we have a saying, or a mantra, if you will, in Love and Action Network: all is well, all is well. Everything is working out for our highest good, and out of this situation, only good must come, and we are safe. And us saying that to each other and getting that programmed into our subconscious mind always gives space for us to create the conditions of feeling safe in love inside first, and then in our community and environment. And I've never felt more safe inside. And I've never felt more trusting that no matter what happens in my life, I'm going to be okay. From now until hopefully the ripe old age of my grandma, 88 and beyond. Shall I continue with the questions? Do you want to take a stab at those before we move forward?
I was just going to answer number 5. Where have I learned to trust love as something reliable rather than fleeting? Um, this is one of those that, like, I have long-term relationships. Like, I've been married for it'll be 10 years next summer, y'all. Like a whole decade. I've been in a relationship with my husband for 12 years. I have a kiddo who's 19 months old. I have been in relationship with Flo for 5 years, Poppy for 2.5, 3 years, Angie, right? All of these people for multiple years. My friend Pete, I have known Pete since we were 2 years old. Right, that is a 32-year relationship. One of my other friends, it has been a like an almost 30-year relationship. One of my other coaches, it's been a 5-year relationship, right? Like, these are things that, love is present in my life and in your life, I would hazard to bet, if you would just open your eyes to it. And so for me, the longevity of my relationships, the way that my relationships have come back, right? Not only with Dr. Flo, but with that friend that I just talked about for 30 years and another friend that now lives down the street from me. Those are people that have been in my life for a long time. And while there may have been brief or long separations, there was still love there when it decided to come back into harmony. So, yeah, that's what I would say about that one. And then I will yield to the rest of the questions.
Perfect, perfect. What forms of love have helped me survive or endure challenging moments? What forms of love have helped you survive or endure challenging moments? How do I offer myself stability when external circumstances feel uncertain? How do you offer yourself stability when external circumstances feel uncertain? What does it feel like to belong without needing to perform or prove? I love this question. What does it feel like to belong without needing to perform or prove? How can I receive love more fully in my body and nervous system? How can you receive love more fully in your body and nervous system? And the last question of today, Root Chakra Day, love as safety, stability, and belonging, is: what foundations of love do I want to carry forward into the new year? What foundations of love do you want to carry forward into the new year?
Woo. The back half of these questions are a doozy, aren't they? There's
They
some
were very
good ones.
good.
There's some good ones in
Mhm.
here. Um, how do I offer myself stability when external circumstances feel uncertain? Um, I'm definitely a person that just puts my head down and, like, does the work that needs to be done, right? Like, the thing that is in front of me that needs the step, Like, what is the smallest step that I can take today to make myself feel better and be a little more stable, regardless of what everybody else is doing, regardless of what is happening in any of the organizations that I help run, etc. Like that is my stability, is taking the there's a song from Frozen 2 that says the next right thing. That is my giving myself the next right step, right? Um, I really loved the question, what does it feel like to belong without needing to perform or prove? I'm going to come back to that one. I'm just making sure that there was nothing else that I there oh, I was going to say on number 10, what foundations of love do I want to carry forward into the new year? Just reminded me of yesterday's Dr. Flo's family reunion where we were talking about visioning and what we're leaving in 2025 and bringing forward into 2026. And I think those are really important conversations to have. I think those are foundational conversations to have, both with your community and with yourself. And now I'll go back to the belonging without performing or proving. This is something that I feel like we have beat out of Love and Action Network like over the last 5 years, like
Not beat out.
not beat out, but kind of beat out. Right? Like sometimes it's rough and tumble. Sometimes it's like, you don't need to do that here. You don't need to do that here. And I find that uh, I get to be belonging to me feels like wholeness, right? It feels like being accepted, not tolerated, no matter how much of myself I bring to a space. And oftentimes we are put into positions where I feel like we have to be presentational or be professional or be someone else's definition of success. And that is not what Love and Action Network does, right? Is very much a belonging in all of our parts, good, bad, neutral, and just being able to bring whatever energy. Flo talked about that in the room this morning, like whether we are high energy, mid energy, or low energy that day, you just bring it all, right? And that feels like belonging. Being able to show up in a space and not have to pretend that I'm feeling high energy, that's belonging, because I sure am not high energy every day, y'all. Like, I'm usually not like a Debbie Downer girly pop, but I'm also not like, oh my God, I'm so happy to see you. Most of the time I'm like, hey, we woke up another day. Like, it's very much like that energy. Like, this is what is. So that is my answer to that one. Did you have any that you wanted to answer?
I just want to piggyback on what a gift it is to give yourself the space to be in any space without needing to prove, protect, hide, or defend things. I think a great deal of exhaustion from people of all ages on the planet comes from using brain power, overthinking, and fatiguing yourself into needing to prove, protect, hide, and defend things to other imperfect, figuring it out humans. The question was, what does it feel like to belong without needing to perform or prove? Energizing. It feels lifted. I feel rested in my spirit, not needing to perform or prove for people. And trust me, people are going to ask you to perform and prove yourself every day to them, in your family group, your friend group, strangers, on threads and Twitter and Clubhouse and YouTube. Are going to ask you to prove that you're worthy of what you say you want. Perform for me and show me that you got what it takes. But not having to do that has made me one of the most rested people on the block. And when I encounter these adults, and I know you all work a lot, I know you're stressed, I know you're overwhelmed, but one way that you can actually make yourself less fatigued and less tired and less agitated is by reducing the need to perform or prove yourself to other humans. What foundations of love do I want to carry forward into the new year? I would like to you know, there's something that happened this year when I realized that generations upon generations of ancestors and people in my family before me walked through life in harsher conditions than what I experienced and survived it. If I can trust myself and love myself next year as much as I loved myself this year or better, I'm going to have the strength of the ancestors on my side. You know, I've got the gift of being able to reach out into the internet and to connect with people all over the country whenever I'd like. Our ancestors had to survive being isolated in their environment without the ability to bridge outwardly. And I'm grateful. What foundations of love do I want to carry forward into the new year? Knowing that I can ask 5.5 billion people for help whenever I feel like it, starting today. That I don't have to suffer in silence, that I don't have to get agitated about present circumstances and conditions, that I can lean on my ancestors for guidance, and I can carry the strength of that self love, strength, and determination into 2026.
Here, here. Here, here. I'm listening
So,
to,
folks,
sorry, related. I'm listening to Kindred by Octavia Butler, and it's about essentially this woman who goes back in time to the time of slavery from 1973, and they do. She does write about the comparison between the ability to ask for help in 1973 versus the ability to ask for help during enslavement, right? um, and it's quite interesting and eye-opening. um, yeah, and how it changes people. So that's all that struck a remembrance in me. But yes, now let us go to the Christmas movies. Come in and know me better, man.
we thank y'all for watching the Daily Boost programming. We thank those of you who have been with us for the last 51 weeks this year and over the last 2 years as we seek to just pour goodness and kindness into the world in our own special way. There are certain people who would not categorize Tara or myself as the nicest people on the planet because we're so focused on what we're doing and we don't want bullshit around us or in our lives. But we have really gone out of our way to make sure that we are offering positive things and planting positive seeds on the planet through these programs. And so, for those of you who have graciously given us your time, talent, and treasure this year, we are super grateful and reflect that love back to you in all of the ways that we can. And so, on behalf of Tara Praolo Studio, Poppy Water 33, who's listening to a podcast here, y'all probably heard him once or twice during the episode today, and myself, Ask Dr. Flo, on all platforms. Stay in your power. Stay in your joy. Stay loved and lovable. And hopefully you'll tap back into the Substack, the Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, Spotify, YouTube throughout the week to source your joy. Joy is the revolution. Love is the revelation. Hope is the transformation.